Hey everyone, it's Joy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have two cards for you today from Spellbinders using the Victorian Collection. And I had a lot of fun with this. I love these 3D flowers. These are Susan Tierney Cockburn, I think that's her name. The flowers that she creates with these dies are amazing. So here are the dies. I have already die cut my flowers. We're going to create two of them. I'm not going to show you all of it. I'm just going to show you little steps because you don't need to see me make the same flower over and over. I did die cut from Cardstock Warehouse's, oh, let me see what it's called. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the cardstock, you guys. I think it's like a certain kind of parchment. I will have it listed for you below. It's not completely see-through, but it's not solid. So it's less see-through than vellum, and it's definitely thicker than vellum. I am coloring it with some Copic markers. I have the Susan's Garden Toolkit. That's what I'm using that little piece for. It just makes making these flowers 3D so much easier. I'm using a green for the leaves. I did one layer, and then I did the second layer, and it just kind of made it imperfect, and I really liked that. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to each one of the petals here, and on these dies it tells you how many times you need to die cut each one of those petals. So I'm using the ball stylus on my tool-in-one and on the foam pad that comes in the toolkit to create some dimension in the leaves. So I'm just rubbing that ball stylus on the leaves, using my reverse tweezers to pinch at the base. And then I can fold back using my reverse tweezers, fold the edges back. And this is just going to make that flat leaf or flat petal die much more 3D. And when we glue these together, you've got this beautiful flower. I'm adding the tweezers at the tip, pinching it, and then pinching and twisting a little bit on the petals. These little centerpieces, these are the stamens. You're going to cut those in half. So now you're going to have twice as many of those little stamen pieces, which I did. I had to die cut 12 of those because there's 6 for each of these flowers. This is the Southern Magnolia from the Victorian Collection. And then that one I just showed you, use your tweezers, you roll it, add a little bit of glue, and I did 2 of those. So 1 for each flower. With the leaves, there is another little tool. It's kind of a sharp tool, but this is going to give you the veins in your leaves. So I'm flipping this over, added the vein, making sure I press good enough. I didn't know if it would rip this kind of cardstock, but it didn't. And then I'm folding it, so I'm going to show you 2 of those. Then, and that little piece, that little board there is in that garden toolkit. Flipping that over, using the ball stylus on the tip just to make it a little bit rounded. So hopefully that all makes sense. I've shown you guys a lot of these flowers before, but they're so pretty. I'm using the ball stylus and the foam pad and pressing down in the center, which is making these kind of cup up, because you're going to stack 6 of these together to create the center of this Southern Magnolia. So let's glue our flowers. So you have 2 large petals, 1 small petal, and then we can glue these together. A little bit of liquid glue, I'm putting that in the center, using my tweezers to hold it in place until that liquid glue dries. And I'm using the Barely Art liquid glue. Add a little bit more, add that center one, and as you can see, I'm turning and offsetting each of the petals. Let's glue this next one. I have a couple sets of, I have quite a few reverse tweezers, and so a pair of reverse tweezers comes in that toolkit along with a tool-in-one and some of the other things, so it's nice to have extras of those. I am stacking those pieces together, 6 of those, with liquid glue, and then I'm putting that tall stamen piece that we rolled up right in the center, and then we can pop that in the center of the flowers. And I think one of my flowers came apart. I didn't wait long enough. But let's put that in the center, and now we've got this gorgeous Southern Magnolia, and I'm just waiting for that to dry. Let's do the foiling. I can't remember what this is called, but it is listed below. This is part of that Victorian Collection. It's beautiful leaves. I'm going to foil it on a piece of cardstock. Of course, I'm using my Aura foil because I love it. Putting that on my Glimmer hot foil system. And I did get some overfoiling on this. I had some extra shims in here, and I totally forgot that I had extra shims in there. But it didn't matter. You can erase it with an eraser, but I actually trimmed this panel down small enough. That was my plan, and so it didn't really matter. I'm running that through the new the black Platinum 6 die cut machine that's exclusive with scrapbook.com and Spellbinders, but you can only get it at scrapbook.com. It comes with a black tool-in-one and pink plates, you guys. It's so fun. Okay, I want to cut a piece of patterned paper. This is from the Spellbinders Flea Market finds. I wanted one to be a patterned paper background, and then the other one we're going to do just a little bit of ink blending. I want to adhere this to a white A2 size card base. I did trim it down slightly smaller than A2 sized, and then we can bring in that beautiful white Magnolia. And I think what's fun about it is because the background is so colorful and the flower is just this beautiful white simple flower. I do want to tuck in a lot of leaves. I did die cut a lot of leaves. And I'm just trying to get an idea of how many I want. And I'm going to put that aside and think about it. Let's do our next card. I need to trim down that panel a little bit more. And on this larger A2 sized panel, I was inspired by Anna Commenda from Scrapbook or SBC Fest. And if you guys didn't know, I was an instructor on SBC Fest back in March. And if you guys wanted to head over to scrapbook.com's YouTube channel, you guys can still watch the replay and all that stuff. There is so much stuff. But she created a card or a couple cards using tape and ink blending and creating the whole background. I'm just doing a small section of ink blending, but she really did it beautiful. And I thought that's so simple and it's so eye-catching. So I'm using some Saltwater Taffy Distress Oxide inks. And look at how fun that is. I actually do add one more piece up here at the top. I was just trying to figure out how I needed to do it. I didn't want the top line to have a straight edge the way the bottom does. I wanted the top to be a little faded. So that's what I'm going to do here. Add one more, and I love it. Then I will ink blend this foiled piece a little bit with the Saltwater Taffy, a little bit darker on the edges, lighter in the center, and then gently rub the foil with a dry rag just to get the extra ink that's sitting on top of the foil. Then this is one of the things I saw from Frank Garcia on SBC Fest. He used this acrylic paint. This is Sparks acrylic paint Mermaid Sparkle. So I'm going to splatter this on this background, and it's so yummy, you guys. It's so pretty. So I do have everything listed and linked for you guys below. So if you want some, you need to get your hands on it because it is gorgeous. Okay, let's adhere that piece that I trimmed down slightly smaller than an A2 size. I'm going to pop up this center foiled piece with some foam tape. Look at how fun that is. And then we can add our beautiful Southern Magnolia towards the bottom, and I can tuck in all of my leaves. I like to lay everything out first before I start gluing because I have to know for sure before I commit that that's how I want it. That's how I want to commit. And then we're going to add some sentiments to this in just a second using my liquid glue. Look how fun that is. Okay. I am using Honeybee stamps. This one's for the girls' sentiments. They are so pretty. And I'm also using Big Time Kindness. Now, they're not so pretty. That's not what I meant. They're so, the sentiments are beautiful, like what it says. So this one's for the girls is like a Mother's Day. And then the Big Time Kindness, which is that big stamp set there, says, "Oh, happy day." But it really does have big scripty sentiments and coordinating dies with it, which is fantastic. I'm just using my Mini Misty to stamp my sentiments with black ink. So that's from the Big Time Kindness. And then the next one is from, this one's for the girls. So lots of happy Mother's Days to aunts and daughter-in-laws and grandmas and sisters and mothers and friends. It's so great. The sentiment that I'm using says, "You're seriously the best." And the little sentiments don't have a coordinating die in that stamp set, but the two big Happy Mother's Day or on Mother's Day, it says two separate things, has coordinating dies with it. So here's the coordinating die for the "Oh Happy Day." I can tape that in place and then run that through the die cut machine. The other one I just trimmed out with my paper trimmer. Look at those fun pink plates, you guys. I love it. It's so cute. I just got it, so I've just been using it recently, and it's been fun. Okay, so I want to add dimension, of course, so I'm going to use my foam sticky strips to add behind all of my sentiments. And then if I have any sentiments that are going to overhang leaves or anything like that, I do add a little bit of liquid glue to that so it can adhere to the leaf as well, which this one does if I can get the glue out. And then I can center that. I did decide to move it up a little because it was a little too low. I didn't love it. Big surprise that I needed to move something that I stuck down. Good thing is I did it quickly. Okay, guys, I hope you like these cards. Thank you so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.